I want to reaffirm the thinking that as a parent, you are a leader. And maybe nobody has ever told you that before, but there's actually basically three things that you are. And these are the core things that you are before anything else as a parent. So as a parent, the first thing that you need to do is to lead. The second one is to provide. And the third one is to protect. And when you hear me speak about leader, I basically mean you. Yes, the parent. So unfortunately, many of us have never been exposed to this kind of thinking, and we just do life. And like I did mention, right at the beginning, or should I say when you saw on the topic here, is today is to talk about the 4 steps you can take to become a leader who takes initiatives. So it's not just the leader in the workplace, but you too are a leader. In case if you are looking for some good nuggets, you already have some. But let's go ahead. I want to jump in and talk about the leader. Now, a lot of us, we go out there, and including myself, and we forget that for us to be leaders, we need to understand how best we can lead ourselves. And what do I mean by this? It basically means that you have to know yourself. And you cannot start leading if yourself, you haven't been able to identify what kind of a person are you? And from there, where should you be taking yourself? And this is the thing that we're always talking about here at the TJ Tribe, which is personal growth. So as an example, a leader today, the same person or the same parent, let's talk about a parent. 2 years from now, you've got no kids, you're not a parent, you will lead differently. 2 years from now, because maybe you got a kid or you got twins, you're a parent. Your thinking and how you're going to lead yourself is totally different. I hope you caught that out. But let's jump on to talk about this leadership thing. Now, I got invited not so long ago to an event, and this event was about a businessman who has grown his business for the last 20 to 30 years across the country. And he says to me, TJ, I want you to bring in so that you can be able to help me how my managers, senior managers that are manage my business across the world, across the country, how best can they start to think initiatives? I thought about this and I said to myself, but isn't this the same problem that maybe us as parents have? We lack initiative, so that's why we don't grow. And that's why maybe this individual at the conference that I had to deliver a keynote speech, he ended up realizing that in his organization, maybe he was stagnant. In his organization, maybe he's not growing the way he wants to grow. And in his organization, he identified that they were not taking initiative. Now, having said that, you might be wondering, so TJ, why are you telling us this? It is because it is the same problem that the organization is have that we may also have. So in today's video, my friends, I want to talk about how best we can actually become a better leader who can take initiatives. That's the whole thing. So we have identified as a leader, me and you, right? As parents, we are already leaders in our own right. Leadership starts at home, and then thereafter we continue to lead and become leaders in the workplace. So how can you lead if you don't know how to lead yourself? And how can you be a provider if you don't know how to figure out to make provision? And how can you protect as well if you do not have the means to protect? And that's a question for another topic. But I want to indicate to say to you, I think that it really takes a bold step for anyone today to reach their potential tomorrow. It takes a bold step for anyone to reach their full potential tomorrow. We don't just grow, we have to take initiatives. The first step that I'd like us to recognize is that one actually needs to know what they want. Yep. I'm going to rephrase that again and say the first step of the 4 steps is know what you want. So I'm gonna say to you guys, I think back in the days, actually before I tell you about back in the days, maybe some of you would know, we're always encouraging each other to read here. There's a book that is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad is Robert Kiyosaki. This one here is Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich was written with a guy called Napoleon Hill. And in his book, he literally says, the starting point of all achievements is desire. Now, you could be saying, what does it have to do? Well, know what you want. And one of the greatest authors says, the starting point of all achievement is desire. So if you desire something else, you've already started to achieve something else. But desire means that you know. You're already knowing something here, right? So the only way you'll be able to recognize opportunity when it comes is to know what you want. I remember back in the days when I was employed, and I used to work for the bank, it was very clear in my head at the time that I didn't want to be employed for long. It was very clear in my head that the income that I was earning was not enough and I wanted more. It was very clear in my head that I didn't want to exchange anymore my time for an income. That was very clear to me. So I knew what I wanted. Right. So we might be now saying, TJ, how can I figure out what I want? Look inside of you. What is causing you pain? What is it that you don't like about yourself? What is it that you are wanting to do? You are seeing others doing, and you are saying to yourself, maybe I can. So maybe you need to take initiative. I speak about the pain here. And back in the days when I was consulting for Barclays, the bank Barclays, that later on became ABSA in South Africa. Basically, one of my job was that within the branch network, they had a pain. And this pain was that the amount of traffic that was coming in the branch was not really profitable. So it was people who were coming through into the branches and they would ask for what we would call today a little bit of stupid stuff, right? And this could be easily like bank statements, resetting of a PIN and things like that. And one of my initiative that I did at the bank is because the bank saw the pain in the branches, when I was consulting, they sent me into the branch network to find these pains and for me to be able to find solution. And really when I went out to the branch networks and I spent lots of time in the branches understanding why the people are there. And I realized that there were maybe about 10 things that the people were consistently coming through. And one of those 2 things is, number one, people were coming through into the branches to look for their statements. They wanted a statement. And we started off a project, an initiative, out of the pain that the branch or the bank was seeing that by giving the statements, it's not good money that we're making, but we can actually automate this and then we can be able to give that to the people. They can be able to check it out, be it on internet or be it on cell phone banking. Today, you guys, you have the pleasure of doing this. It was an initiative that the bank decided to do. They hired a person like me. I went into the branch, I figured it out, and I had a solution. Now, these days, many of us don't have to go to the branches to get a statement. But how many times do you get to be asked to deliver a statement? Many a times. So you might be asking the question, but TJ, why are we talking about the bank now? And we're talking about the 4 steps. I am trying to show you that one little thing that you could think of could actually lead to something that is very impactful. Back in the days in the early 2000s, when this was a project and it was an initiative that we thought of, we didn't think that later on in today's times you will have the benefit of the same. I'm sure your bank now does the same. All the banks now do the same, right? But it was just a small initiative that was done back in the day. Now here's the other thing that I also want to talk about. I spoke about know what you want. So if you know what you want, what happens also is that you can distract, or you can take the distractions of what you do not want. So which means that you are now focusing on what you want. The second one is that you have to push yourself to act. Push yourself to act. What do I mean by push yourself to act? The president, I think it was Theodore Roosevelt, who said this in one of his speeches. He said, "There is nothing brilliant or outstanding in my record," which is his record, "except perhaps this one thing. I do the things that I believe ought to be done. And when I make up my mind to do a thing, I act." Now here's the thing. A lot of us, we want. We know we want. A lot of us, we dream. And it becomes hallucinating. I am of the thinking that when we have visions, when we are dreaming, when we are wanting, and we are not taking the action, it basically means that we are hallucinating. Now, my friends, I do not want you to hallucinate. I want us at the tribe to be people that will take action. So when we know what we want, we have to push ourselves to act. I remember back in the days when I was employed, I used to work from around about 8 o'clock in the morning and to around about 5, 6 o'clock. However, at the time when I started my entrepreneurship, I would get home around about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock. And I would then push myself within from 8 o'clock round about to midnight, and I would do my own business within that time. And even some days I would not even take lunch at work so that maybe I can be able to go home early. And even though when I stopped being an employee and I started owning my own business, I had to push myself to do certain things. So I do know that sometimes we may not feel like doing some things, but it is a fact that within the 4 steps of how you can literally become a leader who takes initiatives, you have to push yourself. So pushing yourself is one of those key things. The third one is that a lot of us run away from taking risks. Yeah. I mean, we are scared of failing. We are scared of wanting to go ahead and do something that has never been done in our family. We are scared to do something that maybe it might put us in an uncomfortable position. But the former John Kennedy, he said this: "There are risks and costs to a program of action, but they are far less than the long-range risks and costs of comfortable inaction." So what was he talking about here? Taking risks is necessary for sustained growth and long-term success. I'm going to ask the question to you, my friend, to say, when was the last time you took risk? TJ, you want me to take risk? Yes, I do. There are no successful people that haven't taken a risk. There are no people that are doing well in life that haven't taken a risk. So let me remind you, for you parents out there, it was a risk to get married to your partner. Yes, it was. You only knew what you knew then about them. You didn't know that they were going to cheat on you. You didn't know that they might leave their job. You didn't know that they might get fat. You didn't know that there was plenty of other things that you didn't know that has now happened, but you took the risk. So why are you not taking risk on making money? You're already taking the risk. By you not taking the risk, subconsciously, right? Consciously, you might be taking the risk as well. So why you don't do this? But let me go on. You might be saying, hey, this guy called TJ. I am just trying to help you here so that you are able to grow. There is no one that I know who's never taken risk, who has no... You're going to lose. You're going to have failures. But you can't do that, and you can't continue sitting in the same position where you are and not be able to take risk. Take risk. Take small risk. Take small, medium risks. right? Taking a shower alone is a risk taking, because you could be in the shower bathing thyself and water and soap becomes slippery. But have we ever stopped taking a shower? We do it, maybe some of us, we even do it twice a day. So why are you not applying the same principles in the other things? Like I did mention, this is the same topic that I went on to discuss with a group of managers. And within these managers, basically what we're trying to do was to find how best the company can start taking initiative into 2024. And it's work that I'm still going to go and dive in a little bit deeper. Obviously, I presented the same talk that I'm giving to you. It's a little bit digested. But we went on to dive in a little bit more into their organization. And with that, we're able now to take it on to smaller bites of things that we can now be able to do in the years to come. Or should I say in the next couple of months, right? And we're going to start within this coming year. Why am I telling you this? It is because I do think the same principles that are being taken in the organizations, you can as well take in your family. So you could be listening to this video and you could be saying to yourself, TJ, what should I be doing? I'm giving you already the 4 steps. So within these 4 steps, you can sit down and you can say to yourself, number 1, what is it that I want to do? Number 2, have I been a risk-taking person? Maybe you've been taking too much risk. So maybe you need to take less risk. Maybe you haven't been taking risk at all. So maybe you need to take a small risk. The 4th thing that I want us to talk about is make mistakes. Oh, TJ, oh no, bruh. I buy a property for 4 million and you want me to make mistakes? Yes, make mistakes. How else are you going to grow? How else are you going to grow? There is a guy that I was reading his biography not so long ago. And I watched a couple of movies that they have done around him. And I like to do that. I think I thrive by listening to business people, successful people that have gone beyond me, and especially those that started off from ground zero. I am talking about a guy that is called Conrad Hilton. Some of you would know the Hilton hotels. They are still in existence today. But Conrad was actually born, I think, in the late 1800s, I think so. And in the early 1900s, Conrad started off the Hiltons, and he made some good money and went on into politics, and well, eventually he died. If he started doing his business in the 1900s, we are in the 20s already, so which means that he is long gone. But here is something that he said. He said that success seems to be connected with action. Successful people keep moving. And they make mistakes. But they don't quit. Oh, ha ha! Woo! So here's some of us. We make one little mistake. You all remember when I made a mistake and I lost 5 million? You all remember that, right? Yeah. By the way, if you're new to us, I've lost 5 million before. My wife's money, my money, and we lost 5 million. And within that, it was a mistake. But at the TJ tribe, we always say, sometimes you learn and sometimes you learn. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. So we don't really look at it as a loss. We look at it as a winning recipe. So you actually won something. How did you win? You learned something. So right now, you give me 5 million right now, clean slate. Ooh, woo! But I would have never been able to take the same 5 million at a greater height had I not lost what I lost. So here is the thing, my friends. If a multi-million US dollars person's Conrad Hilton, if he's saying the successful people keep moving, Maybe you stop. You're like, I just want to concentrate on my job. I just want to concentrate on my business. I don't want to do anything else. He says they keep moving and they make mistakes, but they never quit. Here is someone else. I think this bra here is called Thomas Watson. He was actually. Is he still alive? I haven't checked. But the company IBM, we all know the company IBM. I'm a techie by heart. Back in the days I used to do IT. And he basically says the way to succeed is to double your failure rate. Oh, hi TJ, are you for real? These are people that have gone before us and have made so much money, so much wealth, and isn't we supposed to be listening to our elders? Why are we only listening to this part and we also don't want to listen to that part? We should listen to both. He said this, the way to succeed is to double your failure rate. So obviously if you are failing, the more you fail, you gotta be learning some more. So you're learning more or you're learning harder. In order to experience great success, you must be willing to put yourself on the line, even at the risk of failure. Oh, it's not about failing less. It's about learning faster. Oh, my friends. I think this is my word for you in 2024, 2023 as we're going into the next year. I really want to encourage you to do all these 4 things that I've just mentioned here. And I think we can go on to talk about so many things here. But the real thing that I want us to speak to is that, do you wait for opportunity to come to you? Then you need to practice these 4 things. Or are you consistently on the lookout for opportunities? Which one are you? Because if you are consistently looking for opportunities, then these 4 things, when the opportunity comes, you smash it. So my friends, as the plain lens for today, I just want to say to you, there's a couple of things that I want you to do. Number 1 is right now, not even next year. I want you to figure out, as a leader, remember you're a leader, right? You are a leader in your house because what? Your job is to do 3 things. It is to lead. You lead thyself before you can lead others. But unfortunately, some of us have already started leading a family and so on. But we can learn how to lead better. So go to school and learn how to lead. The second thing is that we need to protect. Some of us have already learned how to protect and things like that. But there's the next level. And we need to provide. How best can we provide? We can only provide for more or quality provision if we also have more. And if we don't, we can't do that. And that's why I am saying to you, I'm going to challenge you for this one on this particular video. What is your plan to make sure that you can start growing? If you don't have a plan, then you're stopped here, the TJ Tribe. It's a good stop. Stay plugged on. Besides plugging on, from time to time we run some events. Come through, join. Become a tribe member. How do you become the tribe member? Well, you start by clicking subscribe. The button that says subscribe. And from time to time, whenever the videos are coming out, learn. Have a book. Write in your book what you have learned on each video. We're always teaching. And when the events comes through, attend. There is a price to pay for everything. So it's more expensive if you do not do these things. So my friend, it's been great hanging out with you. I will see you on the next video. But let me know what you think of these 4 steps in the comments below. Until we see each other again, it is I, your boy, TJ. We'll check you out on the next video.